Welcome back to the Art of Athletics edition of Arts Overlook. Dancing is a common element in most modern athletic events. For example, they'll play music during timeouts, the cameras will search for unsuspecting audience members for the dance cam. Some teams even have dancing as regular staples of every event. The following feature is about the dance that has become a tradition at UNI athletic events. It's also a dance that I have a very close personal history with. It's a dance that if you've been to any Panther game in the last few years, you've done, or at least seen. But perhaps you don't know the full story. Derived from a documentary I did in college, here is my feature on the Interlude dance.
Ready to go for the Interlude? All right. Music maestro, whenever you're ready. You can hit it. Hit it. Follow up. Here we go. Woo, here we go.
Okay, stop. This is a clip of the First Lady Michelle Obama dancing next to some other celebrities like Bob Harper and Michelle Kwan. Those two skinny, goofy guys in yellow? Yeah, that's me and my buddy Scott. You might be wondering, why on earth are we dancing on stage with the First Lady? Well, that's a good question. To answer it, let's back up. The Interlude dance is named after the song Interlude by metalcore band Attack Attack,
which coincidentally wasn't even in their genre. It was a techno interlude in the middle of the song. We toured Campbell Hall and went from room to room. Any door that was open, we started Interlude and we piled into the room and just dance partied for the entire remainder of the song.
I was in my dorm room and Tyler Wright comes in and he's like, dude, I heard you were looking for new music for the dance party we're gonna have. I have this awesome song you should listen to. During the chorus, which we would know as the interlude, he starts dancing around my dorm room, flailing his arms.
When my friends saw me dancing like that continuously, particularly to techno songs, they just kind of gave that movement a name, the gruff dance.
In the summer of 2010, Scott and I were part of a group that taught English and American culture at a summer camp in Dongguan, China, through UNI's Study Abroad program. The kids over there loved techno and electronic dance music.
I mean, all the Chinese kids at the camp, they loved Lady Gaga and they loved Michael Jackson. Because since they loved dance pop so much, we would, have kind of like mini dance parties all the time.
Scott and I would play Interlude and do Tyler's dance.
It just felt like right to move with the song, and like as we kept playing it, I realized that me and Ian were like dancing in a very similar fashion.
Over the course of our trip, we added our own moves, which eventually became the 6 simple steps that are now famous today. When we came back from China, we taught our fellow Campbell Hall RAs
all together one night into the wee hours of the morning dancing, and they taught us the Interlude. And after the first time, Samm and I looked at each other and were like, this is awesome. And so we're like, can we do it again?
It was Ian, Scott, April, and me, and we called ourselves the Interlude crew. We literally played it over and over and over.
Then we taught the rest of our staff, and then we taught all of the residents. All the residents were obsessed with it, and then we would do it in the hallways, and it was something that we would always want to show our friends.
When I first did it, I was like, it was awesome. I loved it. It was like such a joyous experience.
Learning the different names from Scott and Ian, like warming up around the fire, and then doing the Interlude. And I remember they used to call what's now Sparkles the Crazy Arms, and I used to always think it sounded like Sparkles, and so then we called it Sparkles. And then Ninja Robot and the Jersey Shore Fist Pump was culturally relevant, so that connected with people, and so I think just the names of the different steps made it that much more fun for people.
In November of 2010, the Interlude crew filmed the original instructional video.
I remember shooting the intro in Campbell Hall's lobby and like having to shoot it like 5 times because we had to do it all in one take, and then like Ian would mess up, and then we'd start laughing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're gonna go back.
But thankfully, we finally got, that one take where everything went perfect. And then I remember just going around campus to just random locations and just filming us doing the Interlude. I remember in the Union in the chairs, rolling back and forth, dancing on a bench in front of the Campanile.
And I remember when the video came out, sharing it with my parents, and they would share it with other family, and we saw how everyone that would learn the dance was really infected by had to dance the interlude.
Well, the dance continued to grow among friends and acquaintances. Before long, people began to suggest that we do the dance at UNI games in the upcoming basketball season. After a bit of persuasion from my friends, we approached the UNI athletic department about the idea. Initially hesitant themselves, they issued us a challenge. They said if you can get over 100 students to come to the next women's basketball game, we'll let you do the dance and see how it goes. Well, we brought 150 students to this very section right here. And when they played the song Interlude, what happened next was even better than we anticipated.
Just the entire crowd, or the entire student section, started doing it and bobbing and moving, because I mean basically everyone there was like, hey, you know, they came because we asked them to.
To see a group of people doing it like that was really cool, and how they put it into the stands of a game, and I was like, well, that's cool, you know, that has the potential for something, which clearly took off.
The dance was an instant hit. Once we were finished dancing, UNI Athletic Director Troy Dannen shook my hand, saying, I want this at every UNI game from now on. The athletic department emailed every UNI student a link to our video to learn the dance for the upcoming men's basketball game.
During that timeout, literally like the whole student section started doing it. And I just remember like, it was such a cool experience because like, you know, I'm like just having a blast doing it too, but I just remember like looking up behind me and just like seeing this whole crowd doing a dance that like I helped, you know, make up or whatever. I was just like, this is unreal.
The UNI Athletic Department wholeheartedly embraced this new craze, installing the dance as a new tradition.
Well, the best thing about the interlude is that the students created it, the students own it. If the athletic department would have ever said, here's a dance, why don't you guys try it? No one would have ever done it. But the fact that students own it is why it's built up on itself so much so quickly. And it's the reason why it will have a legacy in a lifetime here at Northern Iowa, because it will always now be a part of the student tradition. And that's one of the things I think we've long waited for in Northern Iowa is what is that student tradition that we're going to be recognized for, that people know when they come into the building, they're going to see. And we have it now with the UNI Interlude Dance.
It's become a community deal, and I know it's the first time out in the second half, and tonight we needed it. Sure. And we called an early timeout. We were down either 12 or 14, but I also knew that it was going to change. The atmosphere was going to change because of what the students are doing for us. So I just think they've been terrific.
So the interlude has become such a neat tradition here at UNI, and I remember the exact day that student section did the interlude dance, and it was just such a cool feeling to have so much student support and see them so into the game and then into that dance, and it just created so much energy around the rest of the arena, and it has spread so much into our community and now become a tradition that I think will live on forever.
The dance's popularity continued to cement itself as a school tradition, both in and outside of athletics.
I'll never forget football season when they did it in the Dome for the first time. I got to see it, which was incredible. I was down on the sidelines and I saw, I don't know how many students just doing this all in sync together, and to know that it started with this little video from just 3 guys in Campbell Hall who had this idea of a dance they came up with while studying abroad was awesome.
To our humble delight and surprise, the UNI Athletic Department even honored Tyler, Scott, and myself with official UNI athletic letters.
We were actually the first non-athlete students to get a letter, and that was just a super cool thing. And I just remember thinking, like, really, like, we just kind of made a dance, and somehow, you know, like, people started doing it, and I just remember, like, feeling like it was undeserved, but yet like just like super cool that they would actually kind of, you know, give us that honor.
But the popularity of the interlude dance impacted more than just the UNI Panther community. The day after we performed it at the first men's basketball game, it caught nationwide attention overnight by media outlets such as NBC Sports, Yahoo Sports, Sports Illustrated. It even caught the attention of the band themselves, Attack Attack.
Attack Attack, the band that actually wrote the song, they put it on their Facebook page, and like instantly, we got 1,000 hits in like an hour. I started seeing people posting videos of them doing our dance. Even that, just like the first time like we kind of seen someone else do our dance and like posted us, like, what? It's like, no, come on, you guys didn't just do that, really. High school student sections that were doing it. Some other colleges that were doing it. I remember there was like a University of North Florida flash mob one, like in the dining center, where there's like 4 people started dancing, and then, you know, throughout the course of the song, like it ends up being like a group of like 20 or 25. That one was pretty cool. One of my favorites that was actually kind of came a little bit later was this group of nuns that were doing our dance, and it was hilarious to see these nuns doing it. I think the first like real crazy one I saw was these 4 people in Berlin, Germany doing it. And I remember it was kind of a little different, like they had their own little spin to it, but I mean still like it was definitely our dance. There was like a group of missionaries that taught this tribe of women in Africa, and seeing them do it was just so cool.
Perhaps my biggest highlight in that entire craze was one YouTube video in particular. It was a video of American soldiers dancing the Interlude dance in Afghanistan.
I just watched it, and I can't even express what it was like to watch it for the first time. Just like amazing and humbling. Absolutely, hands down, the coolest video I've seen posted on YouTube of it.
Since I have posted my original video, there have been an estimated 1,000 or more other videos on YouTube. The Interlude dance is still performed at all UNI athletic events. Like most trends in our society, the popularity of the dance has fluctuated from year to year, but I think the message of the dance still lives on. There's a lot of reasons why I feel like the Interlude dance has been successful. For example, it's a very easy to do dance, it has specific moves, the song itself is very catchy. But what is the biggest reason for the Interlude's success? Well, I think all of those videos from around the world provide us with the answer to that question. I think it's that the feeling of unity, and just having fun, are feelings that all of us can appreciate.
And people get scared of, oh, I look stupid when I dance, oh, I don't think I'm a very good dancer. It doesn't matter. You just come as yourself and just dance, and that's the beauty of it, I think.
Like a common theme of just everybody being happy and not really focusing on what other people are thinking.
I think that it can touch people in some ways, that it's a really fun thing to do and people just kind of let loose and do the Interlude dance.
That's really my favorite part about it, is just having those connections with people and really a shared experience of something as simple and silly as just dancing around.
That's what it's always been about. It's about being yourself and about being just who you want to be.
And it's just become another one of those dances that you could classify with the wobble, you know, the Cupid shuffle, the cha-cha slide. However, it's really got a UNI twist to it.
And I think that's what makes it all worth it, is seeing how happy it makes other people.
As a source of crowd entertainment and a symbol of school pride at UNI, the Interlude dance is the perfect example of art in athletics. For the Arts Overlook, I'm Ian Goldsmith.
Interlude, baby.